Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because what just went down is the kind of drama that makes reality TV look like a kindergarten tea party. Imagine sitting down for a calm dinner, glasses clinking, laughter filling the air, and then bam! Bomb drops so explosive it could rewrite every headline about Sierra and Mendeecees overnight. Yes, you heard that right. One name, one whisper, one secret, and suddenly the night spirals into chaos that even the best soap operas couldn't script. What did Yandy reveal? Who is hiding what? And just how deep does this rabbit hole go? Fans are screaming, insiders are spilling, and social media is burning faster than a match in a fireworks factory. Was it a pregnancy, a betrayal, or some twisted double-cross that none of us saw coming? Stick around, because tonight we're diving headfirst into the jaw-dropping truth behind the secret that shattered trust. Ruined smiles and left Sierra, and Mendeecees reeling. By the end of this video, you'll wonder if reality even exists anymore. Are you ready for the chaos? Because it's about to get messier than anyone imagined. Hold on to your seats, because what happened that night was nothing short of a reality TV apocalypse disguised as a casual dinner. Sierra, always the picture of poise, arrived with her perfect smile, radiating charm that has kept fans hooked for years, while Mendeecees carried that aura of calm confidence, the kind that usually masks more secrets than anyone could imagine. And Yandy, sitting quietly in the corner, gave off the unmistakable vibe that she knew exactly what was about to go down. On the surface, it seemed innocent enough. Laughter bouncing around the room, glasses clinking, stories flowing, everyone trying to maintain a veneer of civility. But anyone paying attention could see the storm building beneath those smiles. Sources claim Yandy had been observing, listening intently, calculating the perfect moment to strike with information that no one saw coming. And insiders say that when she finally leaned in, the tension in the air was palpable, like the room itself was holding its breath. She didn't raise her voice or make a scene, but her words landed with the weight of a bomb, cutting through the chatter and instantly freezing Sierra mid-laugh, her eyes wide, her expression betraying a mix of disbelief and panic. While Mendeecees, usually quick with a joke or a smooth explanation, sat frozen, pale, and silent. The color drained from his face as if someone had flicked off the lights on his composure. What followed was chaos in slow motion, a cascade of gasps, murmurs, and the kind of silence that presses on your chest because everyone in that room knew the implications of what had just been said. According to insiders, Yandy revealed that there were secrets circulating for weeks, whispers about a possible pregnancy and connections that could unravel relationships and reputations alike. And the timing could not have been more perfect to ignite maximum emotional impact. Sierra, unable to process the words at first, demanded answers, her voice shaking with a combination of anger and heartbreak as she stared at Mendeecees, who struggled to form a coherent response, his hesitation speaking volumes as the room watched. Every twitch, every flicker of guilt, every failed attempt to explain himself. Friends and guests reportedly tried to intervene, some urging calm, others leaning in closer. Unable to resist the magnetic pull of the unfolding drama, while the air grew heavier with every passing second, thick with tension and the raw energy of betrayal exposed. Social media watchers later noted that the scene had all the hallmarks of a blockbuster scandal. The poised woman brought to tears, the usually confident man rendered speechless, and the friend who dropped the truth with calculated precision, each reaction feeding the next, creating a chain reaction of emotional devastation that would ripple through every corner of their world. Sources close to the dinner alleged that Mendeecees' attempt to explain himself only fueled Sierra's outrage, his words inadequate to undo the shock, the humiliation, and the erosion of trust. And the evening meant to celebrate friendship and connection had instead become a battlefield of emotions, accusations, and fractured loyalties. Every gesture, every look, every pause seemed magnified in that room, each one carrying meaning and suspicion, as though the walls themselves were judging the players. By the time Sierra pushed back her chair, tears streaming down her face, pointing accusingly at Mendeecees, and walked toward the door. The scene had already cemented itself in the minds of everyone present and the millions who would later replay. The footage dissecting every frame, every subtle expression, and every word. Analyzing who knew what and when, and questioning whether anyone could ever recover from the revelation that Yandy had orchestrated with such meticulous timing. The fallout was instantaneous, dividing the guests into factions of support and criticism, fueling speculation, igniting debates, and leaving a lingering sense of shock that refused to dissipate. Proving that, one night, one revelation, and one perfectly timed truth could transform a seemingly ordinary gathering into a story for the ages. The chaos didn't end when Sierra stormed out. In fact, it only escalated as whispers and murmurs filled the room. Every guest trying to process what had just unfolded and wondering how such a perfectly curated evening had turned into a full-blown emotional battlefield. Mendeecees sat frozen, his hands gripping the table as if it could anchor him in a reality that was slipping away, while Yandy maintained a calm yet unyielding presence, her eyes sharp and calculating, observing every reaction as if the drama itself were her personal experiment. Friends tried to intervene, their voices overlapping in a desperate attempt to mediate. But the words fell flat against the tidal wave of emotions that had been unleashed. And even the most composed guests could not hide their fascination, as tension crackled through the air like electricity. Anonymous sources later revealed that behind the smiles and casual chatter, there had been weeks of secret exchanges, private conversations, and rumors swirling about a potential pregnancy connected to Mendeecees that no one was ready to face. And Yandy's revelation had ripped the bandage off in one swift, irreversible moment. The public reaction was immediate and brutal, with social media erupting in real time as clips of the incident circulated. Fans dissecting every facial expression, every pause, every tremor in Sierra's voice, debating endlessly about the motives behind Mendeecees' silence and whether Yandy had crossed a line or was simply delivering the truth that everyone secretly suspected. Eyewitnesses described the scene as surreal, with some guests physically recoiling at the intensity while others leaned forward, unable to look away from the unraveling spectacle. And insiders claimed that the tension was so thick it could be cut with a knife, leaving everyone in the room questioning what they had really known about each other all along. Mendeecees' attempts to explain himself were met with skepticism and rising anger, his words stumbling under the weight of guilt and the impossibility of fully repairing the damage. And Sierra's relentless questioning only intensified the scrutiny, each accusation slicing deeper into the fragile threads of trust that had existed between them, according to reports from those close to the situation. Yandy had carefully timed her revelation, waiting until the laughter had peaked and the mood felt light so that the impact would be absolute. And when she finally spoke, she did so with a deliberate calmness that made the truth all the more devastating, forcing Mendeecees into a corner where any response would only deepen the scandal. The drama spilled beyond the dinner room, with mutual friends and associates weighing in, speculating about who else might have known, how long the secret had been kept, and what other hidden layers might exist beneath the surface, while the narrative took on a life of its own online, trending across platforms as hashtags and commentary exploded, polarizing audiences into camps that either condemned Mendeecees and praised Yandy for her bravery or criticized the timing and method of the revelation as cruel and calculated. Meanwhile, Sierra retreated to a private space to gather herself. But the emotional fallout followed her, her phone buzzing with frantic messages, the echoes of betrayal lingering with every notification, and even as she tried to find solace, the magnitude of the secret kept replaying in her mind, making it impossible to return to normalcy. Insiders claimed that in those private moments, she reflected on every interaction, every hidden glance, every suspicious behavior that she had once dismissed. Now seeing them in a terrifyingly clear new light, and Mendeecees, isolated and increasingly desperate, reached out repeatedly, only to be met with silence and mounting frustration. His attempts to repair the situation thwarted by the irreversible impact of Yandy's timing and the enormity of the betrayal he had tried to conceal. The room left behind at the dinner was chaotic. Conversations looping, speculation running wild, and the guests caught between loyalty, curiosity, and disbelief. Realizing that the evening had transformed from a simple social gathering into a scandal of epic proportions, one that would ripple through friendships, social circles, and online communities for weeks to come, leaving no one unaffected and making it painfully clear that a single revelation, when delivered with precision, could shatter even the most carefully maintained facades and append lives in ways that were impossible to contain. The tension only intensified as the night wore on. With every movement, every glance, and every whispered word magnified under the weight of what had been revealed. And the room felt smaller with each passing second, as if the walls themselves were closing in on the drama that refused to dissipate. Mendeecees, still seated, his shoulders slumped and eyes weary, struggled to regain a sense of control over a situation that had long since slipped beyond his grasp, while Yandy remained, the eye of the storm.com, and almost unyielding. Watching the fallout unfold like a master strategist surveying a battlefield, friends attempted to mediate, some pleading for patience, others questioning why the secret had been dropped in such a public and explosive manner. But the emotional momentum was unstoppable, carrying Sierra's anguish and Mendeecees' guilt, like a tidal wave that no amount of rational conversation could contain. According to sources familiar with the aftermath, Sierra, unable to contain her heartbreak and disbelief, had retreated to a private space where she called close family members, sobbing and recounting the events in a trembling voice that left them reeling, and the reactions she received only fueled her conviction that the betrayal was as deep and irreparable as it felt. While Mendeecees, pacing and muttering to himself in frustration, struggled with the impossible choice between revealing even more or remaining silent and hoping the storm would pass. The speculation surrounding the secret exploded across social media, with fans dissecting every clip, every reaction, and every subtle expression, creating a narrative that seemed to grow larger with each replay as analysts and observers weighed in with theories ranging from financial deception to romantic entanglements, each one more scandalous and unbelievable than the last, fueling a wildfire of conjecture that no apology or explanation could easily extinguish. Insiders claimed that Yandy's timing was deliberate, her delivery precise, and her motive, while framed as loyalty to Sierra, added layers of intrigue that left everyone questioning her role in the unfolding events, as if she had been both witness and architect, and even the friends closest to the situation were unsure how much she truly knew or had been hiding. Meanwhile, Mendeecees' attempts to justify his actions, claiming he had been protecting someone else or trying to prevent greater harm, only served to deepen the sense of betrayal as listeners struggled to parse truth from excuse, leaving Sierra, her family, and the circle of friends caught in a storm of doubt, anger, and shock that seemed impossible to escape. As the night drew to a close, the atmosphere remained thick with tension. The room divided into factions of those who supported Yandy's decision to expose the secret and those who felt the revelation should have been handled differently. The emotional impact on Sierra was undeniable, her tears, heartbreak, and raw vulnerability becoming the central focus of every conversation and online thread, cementing the moment as a scandal that would be remembered and replayed endlessly. Reports indicated that in the days following, Sierra severed communication with Mendeecees, relying heavily on family and close friends for support. While Mendeecees faced mounting criticism, online backlash, and the collapse of the carefully maintained image he had cultivated for years, leaving him isolated and facing a reputation in shambles. The uncertainty of what else might be revealed loomed over everyone involved, as questions about additional secrets, hidden betrayals. And the full extent of the scandal kept the story alive in public discourse, ensuring that no one could forget. The explosive night when laughter turned to tears, trust was shattered. And a single revelation changed everything, leaving relationships fractured, reputations damaged, and the audience captivated by a drama that blurred the line between reality and spectacle in ways that were impossible to ignore. So now we have to ask ourselves, what happens next in this whirlwind of betrayal, secrets, and shattered trust? Will Sierra ever be able to forgive Mendeecees? Or has this betrayal burned every bridge beyond repair? And what about Yandy? Did she reveal everything she knows? Or is there still a layer of secrets lurking beneath the surface, waiting for the perfect moment to explode? Fans are already debating. Theories are flying faster than anyone can keep up with. And the internet is buzzing with questions that demand answers. This is the kind of story that makes you lean forward, bite your nails, and ask yourself who you would trust if you were in Sierra's shoes. Every glance, every pause, every unspoken word matters, and it's up to us to dissect, analyze, and demand the truth. So we want to hear from you. Do you think Sierra should give Mendeecees another chance, or is this the final chapter in their story? Do you believe Yandy is fully honest, or is she holding back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if this saga shocked you. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next explosive twist in this drama that just keeps getting bigger and more intense.